So now we are approaching one of the most important sections. It's data collection section. This section has highest share of the marks because it's easier to predict that there will be 100% graph and table in your question paper, and it will be assessed in average for it will give you 8 marks, for example 3 for table and 5 for graphs usually. And it's very useful to know how this table and graphs will be assessed by your examiner. So table is assessed according to several mark points, and it is recommended to draw table and graph with a pencil and a ruler. So in your heading you should have independent variable on the left side and dependent variable on the right side. Obviously you may have more columns. For example, you may have a column like for several repetitions, but the general rule states that the independent variable goes on the left side from the dependent variable. So this is the mistake. Why this is the mistake? It is because you should write units on the heading, and in the body of the table you should write the number. So if it is concentration, it is recommended to write concentration itself. If you write S1, S2, S3 as it is given in your question papers, so in your question papers it is asked to label your test tubes with this S1, S2 signs, but their actual concentration is known for you. And that is why it is recommended to write this actual concentration. You can write S1, S2, and S3, but please add one more column for concentration with units in the heading and with no units in the body as it is shown here. So you cannot use units in the body. So this is the body of the table. This is the heading of the table. Units should be only on in the heading, okay, for both dependent and independent variables. And please write seconds as whole numbers, okay? Seconds always written as whole numbers. If you have for another type of data, for example for mass, you can use decimal places, but it is recommended to use the same number of decimal places as it is already shown somewhere in your data. If it is not shown, it's okay to write 1 or 2 decimal places, but sometimes they may give you similar table with similar experimental results, and that is why please pay attention on that table. And if there are 2 decimal places, try to use 2 decimal places for this for your table as well. For example, here we used 1 decimal places. Okay, so you should show correct trend. Usually it gives you 1 mark. If you have abnormal results, which is different from your theoretical prediction, it's better to use expected results. I mean, if you have a little bit of abnormal result, you can make up this result, and make a general correct trend according to your theoretical knowledge, okay? Of course, it should be in correct sequence, So you may start from the largest and go to descending, or you may start from the smallest and go by ascending order. However, you cannot mix up these values. I think it's obvious.